Hey all, how's it going? So this is primarily going to be about the Pyro build, and the first thing I'll mention is that I've officially shed blood. So I signed the insides there with a quick smear. So well, that'll be painted over eventually. The way I'm starting with this is I glued the top half, held that real tight, clamped these edges. When that was all set, went and glued this one. So next up I'm going to glue one here, just the top, hold that, and then glue that one down. There are a couple problems with that. First I'll mention is that this is a pretty good fit overall. Let's see if I can get it here. It's a good fit, but it's a difficult one to get right off. So that's close enough. The problem is that even though I can pinch the arm here really good, you're going to have a bit of a seam up there. And over on the other side, again, we can pinch the arm right at the top there, but there's that seam to fill. So that's not a problem, but I do have to glue the body while this is in place and then pull this out so I can fill that up. I do want this to be removable for access later on. So I found this wooden rod here, which is just about exactly the same diameter. So I cut that down to the same length as well. So this one will be going in, let's see if we can get it here. So this will be the rod to secure this one together. And it's actually just a little loose. So what I'm probably going to do is wrap this whole thing in a layer of styrene rather than trying to fill up all the texture in the wood here, the grain rather. There are a couple really bad areas, and this thing does splinter a lot. Over on the Hero build, which I'll just mention quickly, is that what I've been wanting to do is basically cut the arm so I can put the cockpit in. So an option that I've come up with is to take this piece of acrylic here, cut it in this shape, so that basically this will replace what will be missing here in the middle. It'll scoop down so it should fit in the bottom here and hopefully be as secure as possible and prevent any warping that could happen with the wings. I guess it should be facing this way. What I'm worried about is that by slicing the tube and leaving out the middle, the wings are going to be so heavy that eventually it'll droop these arms down, or if I rest it on the wings, then it'll bow them up. So I think that's pretty much it for this installment. This is the back piece. I'm going to cut the window out for that. I've heard this is too steep or there's something wrong with the geometry here, but I'm going to leave that as is on both builds. And then over on the top piece here, I'm thinking about shaving this down to make it a little thinner, but as is, the height does fit right in to the body there, so I don't know if I'll bother, because essentially to get this utterly correct I'd have to scallop it, and I don't know that I feel like going for that much work on this. This is utterly fine the way it is, especially for the Pyro build. So maybe I'll do some tests on this one to see if I can get a good scallop for the Hero build and go from there. I was going to work on the wings next, but I figured I'd start throwing the body together because the Pyro build is going to be easier than anything else. Now that I'm thinking of it, I may need to get a hollow tube instead of this wooden one, because what I would like to do is put some magnets in the end to help hold the wings on, because for the Pyro build those will be removable. And I may even make them removable on the Hero build as well. I haven't decided on that. But yeah, so that's it for this one. I'm going to finish gluing this body together. And oh, one other note that I'll make quick mention of is that to make an utterly secure seam, once I put the CA in there, I'm taking a little bit of baking soda, dropping that in there, and it really helps to make the seam rock hard, which is really awesome. One of the things that I'm having a little trouble with is getting mostly this seam here to file down and still look good, but that'll come down to the final putty work in the end. Getting this seam here hasn't been too bad, just going straight across like that, but this is a really rough file, so I'm definitely concerned about the texture transferring onto the body, so that'll just be a matter of sanding and sanding. I guess the last note on this is that this was one of the miscasts from Corey, and you know, this is not a problem for me. I'll probably pop off the rest of this band here and just put a new one in once I get a proper measurement of it. And that's it. So after a few minutes of drilling, a little cleaning up with the X-Acto, and the back part is done. The bottom's been completely sealed in. The seams have been filled with baking soda and super glue, and the back, however, is a fairly poor fit. There's rim all around it. So what I'm thinking is I may take some tape, wrap it around the edges, and then fit it in. So I've wrapped this back hatch in several rounds of blue tape, snugged it in, dabbed a couple dots here and there just to solidify it. I ran a bead around the entire edge, which came out pretty nice and clean. Then I went to the inside, filled it with CA gel first, put the baking soda over that, then started building up around the edges with regular CA, and now this thing is rock hard. That's not going anywhere. I'm going to leave this lid unattached, or rather unglued, because it does snug in real nice and tight, and you know, just these few parts alone, all of a sudden this is a pretty substantially heavy piece. Not quite 2 pounds probably, but definitely up there. Far more surprising than you might think, and it's all located back here in this piece. So coming up, I don't think I'm going to do the greeblies until quite a time from now, but this is definitely getting ready for some more work. So one of the things I'll have to do is drill a mounting hole in here, and I should have put this rod in. So this is really loose, so I'll have to cover it up with a sheet of styrene definitely. Then I'll fix that in place and drill a hole through the back into it and from the bottom into it, and that will be how it stands. I may put some brass tubes in here to facilitate that, and well, we'll see how the mounting goes at that point. But other than that, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. See you.